All right, let's go ahead and use the sine and cosine trigonometric ratios to find missing side lengths in a right triangle. So in this example, it says, find the values of x and y using sine and cosine, and then round your answers to the nearest tenth. So let's talk about what we know about sine and cosine. We know that the sine of theta is going to be the ratio between its opposite over the hypotenuse, and the cosine of theta is going to be its adjacent, the ratio between its adjacent side over the hypotenuse. So let's take a look over here. We have our focus point over here of 26 degrees. We have a missing value x, a missing value y, but thank goodness we have our hypotenuse. So let's start off by finding out what the value of x is going to be. The reason why is because we have the sine of theta equals its opposite over the hypotenuse. Okay, so let's substitute the values here. Sine of theta, so what is our theta? What is the point that we want to use? 26 degrees. So the sine of 26 degrees is going to equal, what is the opposite side here? X over the hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse? 14. So now all we have to do is just use inverse operations to isolate the variable x. How do we do that? On both sides, I'm going to multiply 14. So now we have 14 times sine of 26 degrees equals x. So now let's go ahead and just pop this into a calculator to see what the value of x is going to be. So 14 times sine of 26 degrees. So x is going to approximate to 6. It says round your answers to the nearest tenth. So 6.13 is going to approximate to 6.1. So that is the value of x. Cool. And now let's go ahead and use the cosine trigonometric ratio to find out the value of y. Why is that? Well, that's because cosine, we're talking about adjacent. And what is the adjacent side that is adjacent to the 26 degrees? It is y, since that's what we want to find anyway. So let's substitute the values. So the cosine of theta here is going to be what again? 26 degrees is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. What is the adjacent of 26 degrees? It is y. And what is the hypotenuse? Again, it is 14. So let's do the same process again. What are we going to do to both sides of the equation so that we isolate the variable y? We're going to multiply both sides by 14. So that way 14 over 14 is 1. And what are we left with? 14 times cosine of 26 degrees equals y. And now let's pop this into a calculator. So 14 times the cosine of 26 degrees is going to give us a value. So y is going to approximate to 12.58, but to the nearest tenth is going to be, we're going to round up. So y is going to approximate to 12.6. And that's how we use the sine and the cosine trigonometric ratios to find missing side lengths. Okay, that's it. Bye.